Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 31st of March. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, just looking around this, it sold off yesterday, broke through the daily 21, dragged that down into a sort of rollover sort of zone, which now, if we run back towards it, could provide some resistance. It's already had a bit of a bounce off this daily 50. We've had a bit of a movement. It's sort of pulled back towards it again. You can see on this footprint on the 4-hourly what's happening here. It's sold off. It's obviously rallied, sold back off. It's rallying again. It's whether or not it can hold this time through this European session. If it does, well, potentially it could be on for that daily 21 at 71.7 there. It's struggled a little bit. Are we going to see a proper reversal? Well, we'll see, but it does look relatively weak. Now, as I say, there is a daily pivot above us as well. The 71, 718, that 34 moving average ties up with the daily 21. So maybe if it does get a shove up, that could be and it passes its daily pivots, we may see a bit of resistance coming back in there. If not there, certainly that 60-minute 50 just a little bit further up. It did get quite a hard sell-off yesterday, quite a movement, but as I say, we'll just watch to see what sort of bounce. Now, we didn't catch a daily pivot yesterday. The previous day, there's 3 days this week, we haven't actually hit it, so probability is pretty good, but not a guarantee. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. Okay, pound remained relatively strong yesterday, as I said in the outlook in the morning. Just the way it hadn't really sold off too much on Wednesday following the Brexit Article 50 being signed. Triggered, should I say? It held up yesterday again, and I'm wondering, can it hold up again, or are we going to see a bit of a sell-off, a bit of a delayed move here? It's certainly less obvious in terms of exactly what's going on here at the moment. Back to the daily pivot, we've effectively not a confirmed lower high, but we've got this lower high in on the 60 minutes here. Nice bounce off the 21s there through the Asian session, but never managed to push up high enough. Now, where we're sitting between a rock and a hard place, may want to come back as low as that 60.50. We'll have to watch how the price reacts. Now, that weekly pivot, as we see, was very pivotal yesterday. It bounced on it numerous times, ramped back, and even before it broke, it had a bit of a reaction back again against it. But eventually, we saw the pound rally through it. Now is the question, will it hold this time if it comes back with that 50? May be an opportunity to buy, but bear in mind, if it does that, it'll put a lower high in, so it'll be doing it from a weaker position, and it'll be below its monthly pivot, daily pivot. So, okay, the last of the month's shouts here. It's really, I mean, as it is the last day of the month and a Friday, we could see some volatility, particularly later in the session. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen not quite made it up to that daily 21 there. It's sold off. It's almost like a pipe top, not quite at the highs here. Quite messy. At the highs there, it diverged into the high. Double divergence actually. Looking like it may be wanting to pull back towards its daily pivot. However, any bounce off this 60.21, well, if we start seeing any strength there, it may push up. Wary of this currency of late, it's spent a bit of time chopping, and yesterday was a classic choppy old day. Kept out of it, left it alone, and I'm glad I did, because at times I thought I had the right idea in terms of what I was looking at. I hadn't traded it. It moved 20-30 pips and rolled over again, but very tight range. Okay, Aussie dollar, another one that's sort of trading against what you'd expect most of the time. It done pretty well on Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday gives it back. Friday we're seeing this move back into this weekly pivot. There's also some other resistance it's just running into here. Question is, can it push through this 50-34 area, break through this, and if it can this morning, well, we could be back up to the prior highs there, but it's struggled to date. The more interesting thing for me is if it starts breaking these lows here. If we can break these lows here, maybe it could be on for further downside, a range at least of the wedgy sort of pattern it's put on here, and it may be maybe an earlier opportunity to enter it. One thing it can be is very choppy, and it's not something I'd normally trade, or not a pair I'd normally trade through our Asian session day trading wise. However, yeah, never know. Canadian dollar then, well, it's taken a bounce just from the daily 34 there, daily 100 sort of sitting there, more so from the 34, I think. But it's been as bitty as anything. It looked like it was a proper break. Well, it did break properly yesterday eventually, but not for a massive amount. And it's then bounced back up again and back within that range of chop effectively. Looking from where we are now, perhaps if we see a break of the upside, it's got a better chance of running maybe up towards the R1, maybe more. At the moment though, it's got an untouched daily pivot. It is selling off a little bit here, so perhaps we could see a bit of a continued move, and it'll be interesting to see if it actually just touches that daily pivot or rolls over through it. We've certainly got, as I say, the rollover yesterday. It's late, it was 1 o'clock-ish time. Did actually run. There were some pips out of it in the end, but it's not for me. I didn't trade it because it's just been so unreliable of late. But maybe it'll start becoming a bit more reliable again. As I say, at the moment, with the pattern I'm seeing here, this V bottom and this pattern here, I'd rather be buying rather than selling, just to check what oil's doing there. Okay, oil's still stepping up, so that may help the sell side of things. It's pushed back up to $50 a barrel. That could help the Canadian dollar, but we have got news out later today, which may be the spoiler. Right, that's it for me. As I say, little news really today. We've got current account 930 for the UK, which may get a bit of volatility around that. 130, we've got the Canadian GDP. So, and that comes out every month, so that does give some a bit of volatility, but not masses. Have a great day. I'll speak to you on Monday.